Okay, I'm going to hold this card up because it's really cool. It's a nice little flyer. October 18th through the 20th, the Lake Mirror Auto Classic. This has been a long time event, a staple of Polk County, but it's not just the size of the event, which is massive. It's the quality event in the cars. And your favorite, new favorite now, is a
propeller car. But
propeller car.
we'll let Robert talk about that.
Robert's the expert. That is really cool looking. You know that? Looks like the Great Gatsby with a propeller on it. Anyway, go ahead, Jack.
So Robert, since we've already started in on the propeller car, start about the unique cars you've got coming to the Lake Mirror Classic.
So every year the goal is to make sure we elevate the event. This year being the 25th anniversary, and I want to make sure we mention the folks that have done this for all of those years. We stand on their shoulders. But we're going to have more than 250 years of vehicular history. I wouldn't say necessarily automotive. We have a 1770 French automobile that was designed to move.
Mark learned how to drive on. No, sorry.
You got your learner's permit.
You got the king of comedy over there. Right?
So, but anyhow, that's coming. It's a steam-powered vehicle, and it's going to be operational. You mentioned the propeller car.
Yep.
So when the Lane Museum in Nashville, Tennessee, found out that the Tampa Bay Auto Museum was going to be bringing this Fardier de Cunha, this is a 1770 wooden vehicle that's powered by steam. He goes, "Oh, we're definitely going to bring the propeller car," and that's going to be, the propeller car is going to be operational as well. So we've got some incredibly unique stuff, but beyond that, I mean, we've got the very first recognized automobile. It's called the Carl Benz Patent Wagon. I have since learned that the reason why it's recognized as the first automobile is because his wife was such a smart woman. She filed for a patent. And that's why it became known as the first official automobile. We're going to have a replica of that that's actually built at the Mercedes-Benz factory. And we're going to have that, and we're going to have everything from, we were going to have a 1904 Cadillac, but that gentleman's wife's just getting out of the hospital. He's got to take care of her, and I was like, that's a good choice. So we're going to have a 1912 Cadillac. And I'm hoping Ford Heacock's not watching because we want to surprise him a little bit. This car is one of those that was at the very first Lake Mirror Classic in 1999. I'm trying to bring some of these cars back that have been there before, that were some of the poster cars. Mercedes-Benz and Cadillac are our two featured marks. And the reason for that is the very first poster car in 1999 was a V16 Cadillac. So that's why I wanted to make sure we had a V16 Cadillac coming. One of our major sponsors is Mecum Auctions. They're new. They're one of our presenting partners, and they're bringing a V16 Cadillac as well as an unbelievable Mercedes that most people have never seen, and it's kind of known as the Von Krieger Mercedes.
And I think one thing that Mark and I have talked about more than once is the fact that the great thing with cars is it connects to childhood and youth and the things that you saw when you were a kid. I had a neighbor growing up who had a Model T.
Oh, really?
And so that to me was always, that was the cool weekend, right? Was hop back in the trundle seat with the neighbor and go off, and whether it was off to an orchard or something like that. I'm sure you've got memories of those. That's the great thing about these old cars.
Is it a trumble seat or is it a rumble seat?
Is it trumble or rumble? Rumble seat? Okay, I am corrected. So, but that's the great thing
I remember those things, Jack, because my first date in the back.
Back to the steam car.
The future mother-in-law was riding back there.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's the great thing with these cars is they connect to a time, for most people, they connect to a time and a place and era of their lives.
So one of my favorite things to say is we bring 4 generations of people together. Everybody's got a great reason to smile. And even if you're not into automobiles, you got to see some of these vehicles. They're literally works of art. They're unbelievable. And to have them all in one place and to have them in the setting, I mean, all the grandeur around Lake Mirror for the Concours, but we can't forget about the fact that at the exact same time, literally all of downtown Lakeland is shut down for a giant car show.
I was going to say, so the clubs you normally have their car shows sort of at the same time. So it turns out to be an entire downtown
Over 730 cars are registered between Friday and Saturday.
Wow. And from how many states?
They're from 17 different states. And we'll have museums from 3 different states. And people can come and see museum vehicles. And it's free, no charge to be a spectator. So, I mean, this is an incredible event to have in this area for people. And we'll draw spectators from out of state as well.
Well, you know, we always kind of pride ourselves in the show. Many times people hear stuff or get inside information for the very first time. Do our viewers and, of course, us and our studio audience here a favor and walk us through what you recommend people do. Hey, make the decision, we're going to the Auto Classic. What would you do?
Depending on where you're going to park, because obviously what we were told is over 50,000 people attended last year. So it's going to be a lot of folks here. Once you find a place to park, if you're close to downtown, take the time to walk through those downtown streets. You'll be amazed at what you see.
There'll be cars there.
There'll be cars everywhere. Yeah. All the streets are shut down. So if you're familiar with the layout of downtown, everywhere from Massachusetts, which is right next to Lake Mirror, over to Florida Ave, all of those streets from the north side of downtown where the railroad track is down to Orange are all shut down with a giant car show. And the stuff that's there is incredible. The neat thing is the layout. We lay it out in a way that you'll see hot rods on one street, you'll see exotics on another street, you'll see French cars on a street, you'll see Japanese cars on the street, and my goal this year is to have one side of the street to be left-hand drive, the other side right-hand drive for those. All those different things, so you'll see different themes on each street, including American classics and muscle cars and all of the above. And then you can make your way over to the lake itself. Okay. And around the lake, we're going to have the vintage wooden boats, because of course we have Lake Mirror right there. Yeah. We're going to have amphicars.
Those are cool. Have you ever seen one, Jack?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those are unreal.
You know that every model of an amphicar is called the 770 because they can go 7 knots in the water and 70 miles an hour on the street. I can't even imagine going 70 miles an hour in one of those.
Oh my gosh.
So
it'd actually be scarier than going into the water.
I went in the water in one. That's different.
Yeah.
And of course, the gentleman who did it, he's kind of known as Dave the Wave. And he, of course, the water comes up over the windshield when he put me. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
But that is a strange sensation to go from driving something on the land and just driving it into the water on a boat ramp.
Jack did that.
So
just didn't happen to be an amphicar.
Yeah. But anyways, so between that and just we will have amazing high-end, one-of-a-kind cars that you've here's my joke. I tell everybody. I can guarantee you're going to see something you've never seen, and I'm going to guarantee you'll see something you never knew existed. And these are literally rolling works of art. They're incredible to see.
Okay, so October 18th through 20th, what's your website?
www.lakemirrorclassic.com. Lakemirrorclassic.com.
Costs absolutely nothing for people to come and enjoy the show.
Spectators get in free.
There's vendors, places to get a drink. You've got all the food options. Everyone's open.
All the downtown restaurants are open. They all look forward to catering to everybody. And we don't bring in food trucks because I'm trying to make sure we really support those local businesses.
Really glad to hear you say that. I think that is so important because the local businesses, they employ people. Correct. So do food trucks. But they employ people, they pay property taxes, they do all the things that stimulate and help grow the economy of Lakeland. And so kudos to you, and of course special thanks to Ford Haycock, the founder and architect. And when we partnered up, initially the goal was to take it from a one-day event to a 3-day event eventually, and now you've got one of the best car shows in the country.
It's pretty neat to be. I pinch myself regularly.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, everything with this show is for charity. None of us make a dime. And I always want to I need to start making sure people are aware of that. We are all volunteers.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you for coming out.
Wow.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's one of our favorites.
Oh, yeah? Well, you can
It's-
spend the whole
yeah.
day there.
Yeah.
Okay.